Hello everyone, this is my third recording of this. This was posted on Monday, but it didn't upload, and I couldn't get the original file. So I'm re-recording the project after the emails that it wasn't showing up on Blackboard. This is the data set we're going to be working with. It's a list of billionaires compiled at 2023. It's an individual list of each billionaire. It has their personal name, their age, their country, and the city they live in, where the source of their income is, what industry they're in, their country of operations, so where they live, where they operate mainly, the name of their organization, if they're self-made, which this talks about that the wealth is generational wealth. So if we look at the Walton family, they inherited Sam Walton's income, and it was split amongst the family members. They themselves did not start the company that is making their wealth. Their last name, first name, their gender, and birth year, and different birthdays. And there's a lot of statistics we can look for in this. Now notice, right now it's called Dataset Project 1. I'm going to come down here and rename this to just data. It's going to help us as we work our way through the data. And we're going to create a new sheet by hitting the plus sign here. And the first thing I'm going to do to make it visible for you is I'm going to make this larger. And we're going to focus this particular sheet on the age category. So this is going to be age statistics. So I'll give it a name so that we can see what's happening here. And then we're going to want to find the mean, median, and mode. So mean, median, mode, and standard deviation are things we're going to look for. Now I can reference another sheet by the name of the sheet. So age is column E. So to get them, and I will rename this age also. And what I can do here now is to find the mean. I can say average, and then I'm going to reference the data sheet because that's where my data is coming from. I'm going to hit the exclamation point, and I want column E. So this says from the sheet titled data, grab column E, and there's my mean age. So we just processed the statistics, the mean, for 2,600 and some entries. Right? So we have the ability to process a lot more things than we could with a calculator here, and rather quickly. So again, I'm going to do the median, and we want the data sheet, column E. So data, exclamation point, E, colon E. And so the median age is 65. The mode, and I'm going to do multi-mode, but right now I'm not going to ask for anything more than one data entry out of it. And again, we're referencing the data sheet, E, colon E. And so the age that is most prevalent in there is 60. And then in our standard deviation. Now we can consider this to be a population. I will say there is some incompleteness in the list, but it wasn't done from a survey. It was data reported. And at this large of a number, the difference between the n and n-1 is not that large. So we're going to do the standard deviation of the population of our data in column E. And we have our spread. And this says that 68%, using the empirical rule, of our billionaires are between 52 years old and 78 years old. So 68% of the billionaires are between 52 and 78. But these numbers are descriptive. They give us things to look at. But let's make a histogram so that we can visualize this. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to choose a histogram. And we'll just choose a histogram. It's going to come through blank, but it's automatically picked the data on this. I'm going to come back and select data. I don't like this data because we want a histogram of our age column. And as soon as I select that data, exclamation point E to E, I now get every entry in here. I'm going to change the chart title to age. Whoops, Control Z. Up. I hit Control Z twice, and so now I'm back here, so I'm just going to reselect the data. You'll see that I don't mind making some typo mistakes while I'm recording a video. I'm not looking for perfection here, and sometimes making a mistake shows me how to correct it. So I hit Control Z, Control Z to undo it, and I double clicked it, so it took me back where I didn't choose data. But I'll slow down here and show that I want the data sheet, and I want column E. And now we have our histogram. Now to change the chart title, I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to go back, and we'll say this is the age of billionaire. And so we have a title for our chart, and we have our age. Now, there's some things we can already visually see with this data by representing it as a histogram. We have a peak here around the column for 58 to 62 years old. We have a dip, and then we have this peak really close to our mean. Now, we did nothing about choosing the class width. So if we want to, we can come over here and we can look at editing our axes. So if we hit the little down arrow here, I'll go to more axes options, and if I look at axes options, I can see something about the bin width, and the number of bins, it automatically chose 25. And I try to mention when we do this that this size of bins help us see or not see data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down to 10 bins. And notice if we only do 10 bins, we do get the generalized shape. We can see this tail off to the left. We see things clumping around our mean, but we lost that little dip. And that dip might be important. And so choosing the number of bins can be instructive into what's in your data. So if I go back to 25, there's very little gaps in this, and there's some idea that this might be bimodal, that there are two distinct humps in here. Now if I go too far, let's say I show 75 bins, I start getting a lot of gaps and spikes, and we say this starts getting noisy when we have too many bins. And so one of the things that I'm going to ask you in the project is to look at some different bin widths to see what helps you pull information out of the data set. So for right now, I'm going to leave this at 25. So this is the first part of the project, is creating a histogram and our generalized statistics from this very large data set and letting Excel do it for us.